Thank you for having me today. I'm excited to be here again and show you some highlights from Sourcebooks. First up for picture books, from New York Times bestselling author of The Leaf Thief comes the funny Halloweeny companion picture book, a fun mystery to solve with characters kids can laugh along with, a smart and silly, colorfully illustrated story that will engage young readers and includes 2 pages of back matter that will appeal to the school and library market. Award-winning beloved picture book creators Matthew Burgess and Matthew Forsythe transformed the dreaded what-ifs before bedtime into a series of questions that bloom into dreamy imaginings. If the Moon is the perfect lyrical bedtime book, a visual poem that soothes and smooths the transition from waking to sleeping. A funny and empowering picture book about finding your confidence starring Colin, the dancing capybara. Everybody stops, everybody stares, but capybara, bopping like he just doesn't care. Colin Capybara loves to dance. He rocks, he Roombas, and he even Zumbas. But the other animals at the disco think dancing is simply ridiculous. And the lemur, the llama, the shrew, and the gnu are much too embarrassed to join in. Can Capybara show them just how much fun it is to dance like nobody's watching? Get ready for the ultimate showdown, ninjas versus cats. Delivers a hilarious action, fun facts, and surprising face-offs, perfect for curious kids who love laughs and epic battles. Who's sneakier? Who's faster? Who will win? The ultimate challenge. In this wildly funny and fast-paced picture book, cats and ninjas go toe-to-toe or paw to sandal in a series of epic challenges to determine who reigns supreme. From leaping and lurking to balancing and battling, each round compares to real-life cat abilities with legendary ninja skills, and the results might just surprise you. Filled with hilarious illustrations, visual puns, and fun facts, Ninjas vs. Cats is the perfect mix of silly and smart, ideal for curious kids ages 4 to 7, animal lovers, future martial artists, and anyone who's ever wondered, can a ninja land on all fours? Let the battle begin. Written by Teresa Ridgway, a computer scientist and manager at Google. 8-year-old Teresa is a creative thinker with a knack for figuring things out. For her birthday, she gets her trickiest puzzle yet, an old computer that doesn't talk or respond like she hoped. Can Teresa crack the code and bring it to life? Inspired by real childhood adventures, this engaging story weaves computer science concepts into a warm, relatable tale about determination and the fun of figuring things out. Along the way, readers will cheer for Teresa as she makes mistakes, tries again, and celebrates her successes. Perfect for families, teachers, and young inventors, this book includes a helpful guide for grown-ups to nurture curiosity and introduce kids, especially girls, to the exciting world of computers, coding, and creative problem solving. For kids who love mysteries, math, or computers, inspire them to see themselves as problem solvers. One click is all it takes to start the adventure. STEM meets Sniff in this silly yet educational look at 13 animals from around the world that smell like food. Take STEM meets Sniff in this silly yet educational look at 13 animals from around the world that smell like food. Take a deep breath. Something smells delicious. But wait, that popcorn, peanut butter, or maple syrup scent might not be what you think. It could be a binturong, a toad, or even a pig. Dogs Smell Like Corn Chips invites readers on a wildly fun laugh out loud STEM adventure through the strangest science of all, how some animals smell like snacks. This playful picture book combines gross out humor, fascinating animal facts, and interactive olfactory fun to hook curious young readers, budding scientists, and every kid who's ever asked, "What's that smell?" Now on to middle grade. From playground to the Premier League, Leo K. Doyle is playing for keeps as he races to achieve his soccer dreams in this middle grade sports series. An earnest, funny, and incredibly talented young soccer player, Leo juggles growing up and growing into the star soccer player he always dreams of being. Books 7 and 8 will be released next year and the year after that. We will also have a new series from the author T.Z. Layton this fall called Doubles. Spike and set alongside Kat Griffin as she navigates life on and off the volleyball court. Check out our ALA schedule for when you can meet T.Z. Layton and get a signed copy of Doubles. Thrills and chills abound in this fast-paced middle grade series filled with frightening tales of technology gone wrong. Black Mirror meets Goosebumps in this series by New York Times bestselling authors Erin Intrada Kelly and Elliot Schrafer. In this first installment, coming in July, a summer camp for the video game obsessed is full of chilling twists and turns. The second book will be released in September. From the team that created the best-selling, acclaimed graphic novel, Illegal, War tells the story of two young people, Kat and Adam, whose lives are impacted by the effects of war. When her city is invaded, Kat suddenly finds her life ripped apart, her family divided and her father taken captive. Adam has been forcibly conscripted into the invading army. When their worlds collide, when they trust each other long enough to win freedom for Kat's father, war is not a story about one specific war. It is a story about the effects of each and every war on the most vulnerable group of people in the world, children. This is the author for your reluctant readers. From #1 New York Times bestselling author of The Mystery of Locked Rooms comes a thrilling murder mystery when four best friends are trapped in a book-themed inn during an ice storm. They must use each of their special skills, as well as a few tips from an armchair detective grandma, to figure out who killed one of the regular customers. A groundbreaking hero's journey from National Book Award and Newbery Honor winner Daniel Nairi. A young boy, a mouse, and a dog set out to find their purpose in this fairy tale adventure told in an innovative visual format that offers a one-of-a-kind reading experience. This is the tale of a boy named Nothing, the Younger, who lives in a city on the mountaintop of a far-off and long-lost country. Everyone calls him Ing, and while he has no parents, he does have two friends, a dog Poppy and a mouse Momo. When King Cyrus calls for a hero to find and defeat the giantess ravaging the countryside, the king's son, the Wander Prince, answers the call and Ing decides to follow. Along the journey, Ing and his friends must traverse the land of the dead, survive an encounter with the terrifying Wimmelworm, and discover the truth of his mother and father so that he may find what he's been seeking all along, his best purpose. The text on each page snakes, climbs, jumps, and explodes into shapes and forms that unravel the story. This is a Door is full of fun surprises and poignant musings that flip the classic hero's journey on its head, all in an artistic, inventive package that is a wonder to behold. Next up are a couple of nonfiction titles, both available in hardcover and trade paperback. This story collection introduces kids to 51 inspiring Indigenous women, artists, activists, athletes, scientists, and more, all of whom have used their voices to uplift and advance their community from the 1800s to today. These empowering heroes are all from North America and includes some that kids may be familiar with, such as Maria Tallchief, Lily Gladstone, and Autumn Pelletier, and others that they might be excited to learn about for the first time. Featuring an Indigenous author and illustrator, this book is an important and exciting addition to the history's greatest hero series. Find inspiration in the faith and devotion of women of the Bible like Eve, Mary, Ruth, Sarah, and more in the first book in a new series highlighting religious figures for kids. This collection features 51 stories of women of the Bible for kids ages 8 to 12, plus beautiful full-color portraits showing readers that there are many ways to live out your faith. On to young adult. The sequel to the instant New York Times bestseller, His Face is the Sun. Magic, adventure, romance, and horror collide in this lush, epic, ancient Egyptian-inspired trilogy, perfect for fans of Leigh Bardugo. The brutal Mary has ascended the throne. A war is brewing between the lands, and an ancient king resurrected through dark magic has his own sinister plans. But the oracle of the Lamb will speak its truth through a princess, priestess, rebel, and thief. From debut author J.A. Morgenstein comes a fun cinematic YA fantasy adventure series featuring the daughters of Victoria era villains. Rose Moriarty and her team of talented and daring teen girls investigate their beloved headmistress's disappearance and travel across the world and universe, defeating monsters of all kinds along the way. When a black teen decides to run for prom queen at her predominantly white private school, the competition takes a deadly turn when the candidates start going missing and the fight for the crown becomes a matter of life or death. A gripping YA thriller for readers of The Black Queen and The Weight of Blood. Enter the academy, win the trials, find the cure, defy the odds. Nora Sullivan is going to die. Her father is on the verge of death, and their only hope for survival may lie in the archives of the Academy. A speculative YA debut filled with lush world building, teenage relationship drama, and heart-pounding action, perfect for fans of a study in drowning. The first children take up arms, the second children take up books, the third children are taken. A sizzling YA dystopian trilogy featuring 3 siblings divided into factions based on birth order as they fight government surveillance, family separation, and epic battles of tactical magic in a fantasy country teetering on the brink of war. Last on the list, from Edgar Award-nominated author of This Is Where We Die and Perfect Little Monsters, comes another twisted thriller. You are cordially invited to your death. When her sister is killed at a party thrown by a secret murder mystery games club, it's up to June Chan to catch the killer by hosting the deadliest game of all. Thank you again for having me today, and enjoy your day.